Life is seriously so amazing. Especially when you start listening to your inner truth and you realize that all of the answers that you're seeking are within you, and that you have this special little guide within yourself that can take you on this beautiful journey of self-discovery and towards happiness, like internal happiness that just radiates out. And that's within us. We don't have to buy it. We don't have to spend money on it. It's not something that can be tainted. It can be suppressed through various means, but it's still there waiting for you when you're ready to listen to it. We just came across a snake. It was just a python, but my intuition told me that I should bring Falky's lead with me, but I didn't listen, and so now I'm paranoid about snakes and I'm carrying Falky instead of having her on a lead, because she's so excited with all the new smells and stuff. But yeah, that's what happens when you don't listen to your intuition. You don't bring your dog lead, and then you end up carrying your little rugrat back to the van because you saw a snake. The snake was very pretty though, but looked like it was ready to attack if we got too close, and I don't want, like, what would I do? I'm kind of like in the middle of nowhere. What if Falky came across a dangerous snake, or if the python got a hold of her? Like, what if she started harassing it and the python bit her and started coiling itself up around her? What would I do? I don't know. To be honest, I guess I'd dive in. I don't know. Hopefully I never have to deal with that situation, but I'm definitely bringing my lead from now on wherever I go. Listening to your intuition equals freedom. For me, my intuition is a feeling or a hunch or a niggle that's been there for a while. So I might have thought about doing something for quite a while and it just never goes away. That's intuition. It can be a feeling that something feels right and that you should take action on it. That's intuition. I feel like I've died and gone to heaven. Clydesdales? Like there's like a whole group of them, a whole herd of them. Anyone who knows me knows that I love horses. My intuition was driving past a sign called Swan Bay, and my intuition was like, wonder what it would be like to check that out, to check this area out. And then I discovered the greatest treasure alive. And tonight we shall have waterfront views. When you listen to your intuition, you shall be rewarded. Your intuition aligns you to your true path, and that's not necessarily what society is going to tell you is the right thing to do. It's just your true path. And maybe because we're not used to living different lives, we're used to the cookie cutter life that we're told we should live. Maybe that's why it's more scary. But when I really think about it, the scariest thing for me is not following my true path, because I've done that before. And I was deeply unhappy, and a lot of the times I didn't want to live because I was so unhappy with my life. I had suicidal thoughts, I was depressed, stressed with work, I put on so much weight, I was unhappy within myself, I did not love myself, I didn't love the choices that I was making in my life. To me, when I reflect back on that, to me that's more scary. That life that I lived before is more scary than following my path and listening to my intuition and taking action on my intuition. That's the least scary path, even though it's still really, really scary. I'm the queen of the seaweed mountain! You know, if you haven't been listening to your intuition or like trying to suppress it in some ways, whether through drugs, alcohol, food, media, our technology, constantly on technology, that's another thing that I did. Way too much time online, just trying to drown out my niggle. If you don't do that, if you haven't been listening to your intuition for a while, then some things might need to have a big change in your life once you start listening to it, and that's scary. Some things might just need to break. But once they break, and I've been through that broken part, if you continue to listen to your intuition and continue to be there for yourself and keep following your true path, things somehow work out, even when you think it's not going to. Things just work out, and you just develop this sense of surrender. Universe, just guide me. Intuition, guide me, show me the way. You just learn to trust. Trust the universe, trust yourself, trust that everything's going to be okay. And yes, sometimes you're gonna have to get creative, and you might have to hustle a little bit and take a lot of action, and it's gonna scare you, but it'll all be okay. Well, that's been my experience anyway. When you start to listen to your intuition, you also realize that you have the answers to pretty much everything within yourself. And that's kind of cool and terrifying as well. It's not to say that you'd stop learning different things from the outside, but once you learn so many different things, I mean, we're bombarded with information every single day. Our intuition is our tool to be able to sift through that and go, okay, so which of this information is relevant for me and which is going to work for me? What's going to work best for my life and my true path? And it goes, that one. Let's go towards that. So it's kind of like a sifting tool. Like, this is rubbish, this is rubbish, this is shit, this is shit, this is good, this is gold. You should definitely pursue this. Here with Ryan.
Hi.
I'm actually gonna get a tattoo. Everything that I'm gonna do moving forward, I just want to always remind myself to come from a place of love and have the intention of unconditional love, and just keep that in mind as the highest value. Following my intuition, I guess, is a big part of my self-care and self-love routine these days, because it's taking me back to me. It's following my own truth and staying true to myself. And it's not to say that I regret the time that I didn't listen to my intuition. Now that I'm where I am now and have had time to process everything, I'm actually really grateful for it. I'm grateful that I experienced the lowest of the lows, because I can now appreciate the highest of the highs even more. Falky keeps farting. Seriously. Falky, you stink. Your butt is really stinky. Stinky. Stinks. So bad. How do you get to a place where you know that you're listening to your intuition? How do you start listening to your intuition? By the way, all the seaweed really smells like shit. I think everyone has their own path and will be able to connect to themselves in different ways because we're all different. But for me, it took taking time out for myself, being in solitude. That's why I got my van, just so I could connect back to myself and just be able to take some time out so I could really connect up and get in touch with myself. But if you can't, you know, buy a van and go adventuring, then you can still set out time for yourself. You know, go away for a weekend, meditate every day. Just set out some time for yourself to be by yourself in solitude. Painting has been a huge thing that has allowed me to connect back to myself. It's a form of meditation for me, getting creative. You can also take walks along the beach. Being with animals has always helped me as well. Spending time in nature, I really believe that nature is a portal to ourselves. Looking after yourself, getting enough sleep, eating healthily, doing exercise, being in touch with yourself and looking after the needs of your body. In Tantra even, we get taught that the integration process is so important. And for us to be able to integrate everything that's happening in our lives, to be able to digest intuitively everything that's happening, to figure out what we need, what we don't need, what's right for us, what isn't right for us. It's so important for us to have downtime, to rest, to be able to take time out. You can hear the sound of the sea through it. They discovered is that it's actually the sound of your own blood rushing through your ears that you hear. But even that sounds amazing. The top 5 regrets of the dying include... That's number 1. Number 1 on this list. This is exactly what I've been talking about, staying true to yourself. It says this was the most common regret of all. When people realize that their life is almost over and look back clearly on it, it is easy to see how many dreams have gone unfulfilled. Most people had not honored even half of their dreams and had to die knowing that it was due to choices they had made or not made. Health brings freedom, very few realize, until they no longer have it. This came from every male patient that I nursed. They missed their children's youth and their partner's companionship. Women also spoke of this regret, but as most were from an older generation, many of the female patients had not been breadwinners. All of the men I nursed deeply regretted spending so much of their lives on the treadmill of work existence. Many people suppress their feelings in order to keep peace with others. As a result, they settled for a mediocre existence and never became who they were truly capable of becoming. Many developed illnesses relating to bitterness and resentment they carried as a result. This is one of the things that I love about Tantra. It teaches you how to communicate what you're feeling. It teaches you how to communicate, how to express yourself. Friends are so important in your life. Finding your tribe, finding your soul family, finding the people that will be there for you, that you can say anything to and they'll love you no matter what. Obviously you don't want to be an asshole to them because you want them to stay your friends. You gotta treat your friends good. If you want to have good friends, you gotta treat them good. But you also need to be true to yourself in those relationships as well. We can go into a whole friendship video soon if you want as well. If you want that, let me know in the comment section below, because this is a topic that I'm very passionate about. Having the right people in your life, having the right friends in your life is so important. This is what she said about, I wish I had stayed in touch with my friends. Often they would not truly realize the full benefits of old friends until their dying weeks, and it was not always possible to track them down. Many had become so caught up in their own lives that they had let golden friendships slip by over the years. There were many deep regrets about not giving friendships the time and effort they deserved. Everyone misses their friends when they're dying. I miss my friends when I'm away from them. This is surprisingly a common one. Many did not realize until the end that happiness is a choice. They had stayed stuck in old patterns and habits. The so-called comfort of familiarity overflowed into their emotions as well as their physical lives. Fear of change had them pretending to others and to themselves that they were content, when deep within they longed to laugh properly and have silliness in their life again. I'm getting emotional because that was me on that path not that long ago. I would have had all 5 of those regrets in my life. And I'm so grateful that my life broke and it completely shattered. And that I had to connect back with myself, and that I had to connect back with my intuition. Because that is what created the life that I'm living now. And I want to try to help as many people as possible to not have those regrets in their life. Hopefully my experiences in life help you in some way. And also, if you like what I do, then please subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate you sharing the videos as well. Feel free to share with anyone you like. Subscribe, thumbs up, comment, leave detailed comments. I love the detailed comments that you leave. They're so juicy and beautiful, and I love responding to them. So the juicier, the more thought that goes into a comment. I just love it. So if you have any feedback, if you don't agree with something, that's totally fine as well. Let me know in the comment section below if you love it, or if you have a similar experience that someone else might be able to learn from. I'm sure other people are going through the comments and reading them. Then leave detailed comments. We love them. And I love you very much.